Let's start with a phrase that is the basis of this video. The freedom to make our own decisions keeps us dignified and active. Fight for yourself, don't depend on others if you can. And try to put everything in order for when you go through this stage of life, so that no one reproaches you and you feel that you are a burden. Now let's start with this video that does not have waste. Imagine that your life is like a house you have built with love and effort over the years. At the beginning, you chose every detail, the colors of the walls, the furniture, and how you wanted every corner to feel. You knew exactly where to place the whole thing, because this house reflected who you are and how you wanted to live. Over time, you have made adjustments and improvements, learning to keep it standing, despite the storms and the passing of the years. But what happens if one day you decide, stop taking care of that house? If you do not provide adequate maintenance, the garden begins to fill with weeds. Doors wear out, and the windows are filled with dust. And the worst thing is that if you don't make the decisions about her, other people, no matter how dear they may be, will begin to decide what to do with your home. Will change the furniture, will paint the walls to your liking, and take control of the spaces you had created. Passing through old age is like that house. If you don't take care of maintaining it and making the decisions necessary, others will do it for you. And even if your children love you deeply, the best gift you can give them is to make sure you are still being you, in control of your life and your home. Today we will talk about 7 keys essential for you to remain you. Who has the keys to that house and the elderly? Instead of letting your children take all decisions for you, and not because you don't love them, but because the best gift that you can give them is to show them that you are still capable of managing your life. I will give you the 7 keys to manage your life when you are already over 60 years of age, and I'll do it like a top. Stay until the end, because the last 2 tips are the most important and you won't want to miss them. Let's discover how to live this stage in a full and free manner, being the owner of your own unloaded decisions, others with the weight of things you can solve. Let's get straight to the point. Let's start. The number 7 position is not wait for others to do things for you. If you can go for yourself and release your loved ones from the burden. Have you ever let the day slip away, waiting for someone else to make decisions for you? Maybe you have thought, we will see it later, or my children will know what to do. But you have started to think about the consequences. Let others decide for us is like relinquishing control of the steering wheel on a trip. You may not like the way that person handles. Instead of that, who better than you to decide how you want to live this golden stage of your life? It is understandable that the idea of thinking in wills, medical or adverse decisions, is not exactly Mexican. Nobody wants to think in the things that need to be made clear, in the elderly, or even after death. But what if I told you to face these issues today? Is what allows you to take charge of your own life. Think about it this way. Imagine that you are preparing a trip. If you don't decide where to go, what activities you want to do, and how you want to travel, you will really enjoy the trip. Of course not. Your life is the same. If you do not make the choices that matter, you run the risk of others deciding on you, taking you to a destination you have not chosen. Where to start? The first thing you should consider is to create a will if you do not already have one. You may think you don't have much to leave behind, but a will is more than just an inventory of goods. Is your personal. Imagine that you are preparing a road trip. If you do not have a map or GPS, it's easy to get lost on the road. A will provides you that clear guide that helps your family navigate difficult times. If something happens to you, this document becomes a beacon that prevents your loved ones from facing legal chaos, as if they were trying to put a puzzle together without knowing how many pieces are missing. You save the stress that your children or loved ones have to speculate about your desires and how to manage your assets. And it's not just about money or property. Think of it as an opportunity to leave instructions about who the people you trust are, to make important decisions on your behalf. By defining this, you are giving to your loved ones the clarity they need, and you also give them the peace of mind of knowing that your wishes will be respected, even if you are not present to express them now. Let's talk about your wishes in terms of medical treatments and what it should, in case you fail suddenly. I recognize that this is a delicate issue, but consider this. If you do not make it clear what type of treatments you accept or reject, how your loved ones can make decisions informed at a time of crisis. Imagine that you are organizing an event and your friends are choosing the menu without knowing what your favorite dishes are. It would be chaos, wouldn't it? By communicating your wishes in an open and calm manner, you give your family a clear guide as if they were delivering a menu with your favorite options. This does not only make the task easier for them in an instant, emotionally overwhelming, but also provides them with great relief, knowing that they are acting according to your desires. Also think about your body decisions. You have preferences about cremation or some other type of arrangement. Communicate this to your family. It's like leaving instructions for a safe trip, that everyone arrives at their destination without setbacks. So instead of being in the dark, your loved ones can honor your wishes with confidence and respect. Now let's talk about your heart and your home. Organizing your financial well-being is essential, and we could compare it to reviewing your before embarking on a long journey. If you don't make sure everything is in order, you could run out of resources on the road. It is vital that you establish an emergency fund to cover your basic expenses without having to resort to the help of your children. Remember, this is not selfishness. It is a matter of maintaining your independence and make sure you have what you need to live without burdening others with this responsibility. Now reflect on your home. Would you like to continue to live in your home, but with some modifications that make it more accessible? Imagine adapting your space to make it more comfortable, or change the design of some rooms. Or perhaps you are considering moving to a place that is closer to services, doctors, or a family member, or return to that town where you were born and long for it so much. Making decisions about where to live before they become an emergency is crucial, so you can make sure that the choice is yours and not the result of a situation. This will allow you to create an environment in which you feel safe and happy without external barriers that force you to act in a hurry. I guess all this can do a lot to think about. How to try to organize before a great journey, but once everything is in place, you will experience a priceless peace of mind. Remember that every day you postpone these decisions, it's like carrying a backpack full of stones. Over time it becomes so act now, because that tomorrow you leave for later can arrive without you being prepared. Don't let others make these plans for you. Your children do not have all the answers, and they will not want to take on that burden either. If today you decide, take control of these aspects, essentials of your life, you will not only protect your independence, but also, you will relieve your loved ones of a responsibility unnecessary. This is a true act of love to yourself as well as to them. Remember, you are the architect of your future. By taking decisions today will allow you to live in the present with greater serenity and confidence, enjoying each day as the gift that is. We continue with the number 6 position of this top, and it is: take charge of everything you feel you can control. As we travel our life towards the elderly, it is common for concerns to arise about what is to come. Questions such as, how I will handle my needs while I transit this stage, or I will have the support I need from my loved ones. In difficult times, are often our thoughts. And perhaps, the most distressing of all, I will generate problems for my children. But there is something essential to consider at this stage. There are aspects that you can manage, and others that are simply not in your hands. To address these concerns, imagine you are sailing on a boat. This boat represents your life, and as you enter the waters, unknown to the elderly, you face situations you can't control, such as the climate or the currents of the sea. No matter how much you wish, you cannot change the wind direction or predict when there will be storms. Yet there is one thing you can control. The rudder. The rudder symbolizes your decisions and actions. If you concentrate on what you can control, how to handle the rudder and to where steer your boat, the journey becomes much more bearable. Instead of being distressed by what is not in your hands, ask yourself, what can I do today to improve my life, and not to leave a burden on my children in the future? For example, instead of being trapped in thoughts on whether you will be a burden, you can spend time taking care of your health. Ask yourself what I am doing to stay active. I am choosing foods that nourish my body and mind. You can start exercising regularly, maintaining a balanced diet, or practice activities that offer you joy and well-being. These decisions are like adjusting your ship's sails, will help you navigate better through any storm that you can face. Reflect on your legacy. Ask yourself what lessons you want to transmit to your children and loved ones. This is not just about leaving them a material legacy, but also to share training and experiences to help them navigate their own lives. This approach is like mapping for the future, making sure that those who come after you have a clear guide for your own trip. Make sure you have a solid plan for your economic independence. Is fundamental at this stage of life. Ask yourself, I have saved enough. I have a plan for my retirement. Although these issues may seem tiring, remember that you have the power to manage them. Imagine you are tending a garden at the beginning. It all starts with the planting of the right seeds. These seeds represent your savings and financial plans. If you choose well and place them on the right soil, will bear fruit in the future. But just like a garden, it needs regular care. Like water, sun, and attention, your financial plan also requires monitoring and adjustments. For example, if one year you decide to allocate a little more to your savings, that's like adding fertilizer to your garden. In time, you will see how this effort pays off, granting you independence you want in your retirement. So don't be discouraged. Every little action counts. Take care of your pets as you would a garden, and you will enjoy an abundant harvest in the future. So as you navigate this stage of your life, remember that you are not alone in the sea. Concerns are normal, but focus on the rudder, on what you can control, and make this trip a significant and gratifying experience, both for you and for those around you, without leaving them a burden in your future. Let's continue with the number 5 position. Socialize with everyone. Upon reaching this stage of life, is fundamental. Remember that you are not alone in this journey. Today, I invite you to open your heart and mind to new connections. Do not concentrate all your energy on one support group, family, or a friend. Build a network that includes friends, neighbors, and people in your community. Is one of the most valuable decisions you can make. Now think your children already have their own life, with their own children, wife, and their own problems. May not always be able to be there for you. Over the years, it's easy to think of making new friends is a difficult task. How to try finding a book in a messy library. But in reality, the richness of your life experience may be the key to forging deep properties. These new relationships are often based on an understanding, mutual and shared interests. What makes every connection a treasure? Imagine you are a plant in a garden. If you plant in one place and you do not receive sunlight or the water you need, you will wither. But if you surround yourself with other plants and flowers, you will be able to flourish. In the same way, your relationships are essential to your well-being. The more connections you have, the more you will flourish at this stage of your life. So how to get started? You don't need great gestures. Something as simple as join a gymnastics group for the elderly or taking dance lessons may be the first step. If you enjoy walking, look for a group that shares this passion, as the key is to get out of your comfort zone and allow you to be part of something bigger. Let's talk about your neighbors. You may have been living in the same place for years, and you barely know those around you. Take a moment to chat with them. Offer help or simply share a friendship can open doors to unexpected disappointments. You never know when someone in your neighborhood is looking for the same as you. A friend, a company. And of course, don't forget those old friends or family members with whom you have lost contact. Social networks are perfect to get back in touch with. Or a simple confirmation message. Be the one who takes the first step. Takes advantage of this moment to reconnect. A simple call or message can be the bridge to recover those relationships that once made you happy. I know this may seem complicated. It is difficult to think about the possibility that your children are not always by your side. But here is the key. This is not about replacing them, but to create a network of friendships and support partners that will make you to feel accompanied and loved. Think of the security you feel when you carry a parachute. Gives you confidence when jumping. We cannot expect our children to are the only source of emotional support. By diversifying your broad relationships, your sense of belonging, and reduce the load you can feel. Have friends and loved ones to trust. Will allow you to face the challenges of the elderly with more peace of mind. In short, this is a call to turn your life into a great show. Imagine you are the director of a vibrant where your children are one of the main stars, but not the only one. By diversifying your support network, you are adding to an incredible cast of friends, neighbors, and new faces that bring joy and color to your tent. Every person in your life is like an artist a juggler who makes you laugh, an acrobat that inspires you to jump towards new adventures, and a clown that brings laughter even on cloudy days. Do not limit yourself to a single act. Explore the variety of talents out there. Surround yourself with people who make you feel the excitement of the show and help you create unforgettable memories. When your support network is diverse, life becomes a festival of experiences and relationships, where every day is a new function. Number 4, never lose control of your life. To explain to you what I mean by this point, listen to the following real-life story. Teresa, a 70-year-old woman who has been a fighter, tireless throughout his life, has always faced challenges with a smile. From raising their children alone to become the financial support of his family. When it was time to retire, Teresa thought he would continue to make his own decisions, as he had always done. However, over time, began to notice that his children, always with the best intentions, began to influence their daily choices. It all started with small details. A reminder for medical suggestions on how to organize your home, or what activities you should do. At first, Teresa accepted it with pleasure, valuing the interest of their children. But little by little, realized that his opinions were beginning to influence more than she wanted to. The decisions I once made with confidence began to feel more like suggestions. And before you know it, was relinquishing control over his life. Every time I made a decision, their children had something to say. Wanting to avoid conflicts, she listened to them. One day, while enjoying his coffee in the kitchen, Teresa felt that her home, a house full of memories and laughter, had become a place where I no longer had the last word. Felt like a spectator in her own story, and that worried her. Teresa's story is more common than it seems. Often for love and comfort, we allow others to take charge of our lives, and that can lead to a sense of loss. Independence is not just a matter of age. It's an attitude. Be able to lead your own life. Your decisions and desires are fundamental, especially at this stage. Remain the author of your own story, even when others want to interfere. Returning to Teresa, there was a turning point in her life. During a family gathering, his children suggested it was time for him to move in to a nursing home where they could take better care of her. For them, it was a practical solution. For Teresa, it was as if her home was being taken away from her. At that instant, realized that he had to regain the rudder. Decided, Teresa recognized her children firmly and clearly. Explained that, while he appreciated their concern, decisions about his life would be yours alone. It was not an easy road for his children. Initially thought it was a matter of pride. But Teresa made them understand that it was not pride, but of human need. Fundamental to be able to make your own decisions. I make it clear to you that I would accept your help or suggestions when offered. But she made it clear that she would always be the one to decide. This story is a reflection about the reality that many of us face. There comes a time when someone out of love or concern wants to make decisions for us. It is easy to get carried away and give in. But remember, as long as you have the ability to decide, these decisions must remain yours. Control over your life is not lost with age. It's something you must care for and protect. Maintain control over our decisions is essential to our emotional well-being. Small choices, from where to live to how to spend your time, are what keeps you connected to yourself. Old age does not have to mean give up your decision-making power. You can remain the captain of your ship, sailing firmly, no matter how many years you have traveled. In the end, who better than you to know what really you need? Let's continue with point number 3. Learn to say, don't imagine for a moment that your life is like the photo album on your cell phone. Each image you decide to save represents a decision, a relationship or commitment. If you add photos without thinking, soon that album will become a chaos. Duplicate images, memories you no longer value, and you will find it difficult to find the photos that really mean something to you. But here is the key. Learn to say no is how to organize and select carefully which photos and which ones to eliminate, so that your album always shows what really matters. Often, our loved ones with the best intentions try to fill this album with your ideas and suggestions. You should capture more moments with us. Dad, it's time for you to make an album of your travels. Or, let me help you select your photos. At first, everything seems, and you may be tempted to accept in order to avoid conflicts or the desire to please. But what begins as a simple favor may lead you to lose control about what actually you wish to treasure in your life. Say no does not mean rejecting the love or support of others. It's an act of self-care, a way to protect your personal space. Your wishes and decisions is an affirmation of your identity. After all, the way we choose to spend our days is how we choose to live our lives. Every time we accept something we don't really want, we are delivering part of those days, and ultimately, a part of our lives. Saying no is not a sign of selfishness. It's a matter of discernment. When you set clear boundaries, you are not rejecting the people around you, but you allow yourself take care of your mental and emotional health. This respect for yourself is fundamental in any type of relationship, either with your children, friends, or colleagues. Imagine that he does not. Is like a door that you can open or close at your will. When you decide to close it, you protect your inner peace. But you also have the option to open it when you feel it is the right thing to do. You are the one who controls that door. It is not a matter of closing it permanently, but to use it to filter out what comes into your life. Is a tool that helps you determine what actually deserves your time and energy, and what just doesn't fit in your life at this moment. Think that when you say yes to others for something you don't like, you are saying no to yourself sometimes. The true act of self is to set limits on saying no, without feeling guilt or fear of hurting others, because you are prioritizing your well-being. By saying you do not free yourself, and you give yourself the necessary space to remain yourself, to continue taking charge of your life. So the next time you sit down, by the suggestions of others, ask yourself, this really makes me happy? If the answer is no, do not hesitate to say so. Listen carefully. I recommend you not to leave, because the most revealing thing is coming soon. I will finally reveal to you what are the last 2 keys to find balance and live this stage of life with affection. But before that, if you got this far, leave us a comment from where you are watching this video with us. I encourage you to subscribe if you have not yet formed part of our community, and to leave us your like is very important to us. Do not forget, pause the video for a second and let us know where you see us from. Now we are going with these 2 keys for you to take control of your life in the elderly. Then we go with the number 2 position, which is transform your environment, not your essence. Imagine for a moment when your life is like an old man wall clock. Over the years, that clock has marked the most important moments of your life, but with time, some parts have worn out, and its operation is no longer the same. But here's the secret. Although the watch may require repairs, its essence, its value, and what it represents remain intact. This is how it happens in the elderly. Even if the body changes, your essence and your ability to decide how to live this stage does not have to deteriorate then. Why not adjust that clock to keep dialing the time with precision, instead of resigning yourself time to pass in an uncomfortable manner? You can adapt it to your needs. Changing your environment for support is essential. As well as a watch that needs be tuned to sound perfectly, you can also make small changes that will allow you to live with more comfort and happiness. For example, in the kitchen, hire someone to help you cook the shelves so that the most widely used ingredients and utensils are at an accessible height in the bathroom. You can use a carpet, non-slip for added safety, or incorporate a mirror with light to facilitate personal cleaning in the living room. You can choose more comfortable and ergonomic furniture, create a reading corner with a suitable lamp, and your favorite books, or the computer at your fingertips. In the bedroom, you can opt for a bed at a comfortable height to facilitate access use, drawer organizers for keeping clothes, and ordered accessories. These small changes can make a big difference, improving your quality of life and adapting your home to your current needs. As well as a clock that adjusts to the new conditions, you can adapt your life to keep it going, resonating with the rhythms of your essence. With every change you make, you are affirming your right to live fully, to continue being the protagonist of your story, even in this golden stage of life. Imagine your life is like a cell phone. As time goes by, some applications become obsolete, battery can run out faster, and the screen may not respond as before. But instead of getting rid of your cell phone, simply adjust the configuration. You don't give up your device, you just make the changes necessary for it to continue working optimally and will you the information you need. The phone is still yours, and you decide which applications and which eliminate to make your life flow smoothly. You shape your home, adapting it to your own needs. The space where you live directly influences how you feel, how you move, how you enjoy your days. If that space supports you, if designed to make your life easier instead of complicating it, you will feel freer, more able to keep doing what you love. And finally, we reach the number 1 position in this top. I congratulate you for having come this far. It's time for me to reveal the most important things to you. Live in the present, not tomorrow. I know that in this video, we have talked about the importance of planning, to take control of what you can handle, and to put your life in order in old age. All this is fundamental, but it only has value if it allows you to enjoy today's. Time is one of the most valuable things that you can spend, and what you spend is what really matters. So instead of being trapped in the labyrinths of tomorrow, remember that with each passing day is an opportunity, gold, to make something you really love. How many times have you met thinking about what will happen tomorrow, on how things will be in 5 years' time, and if your children will be close, or if your health will be maintained? In that wind of thoughts, the present, the only moment you really have, escapes like water between your fingers. Imagine that life is like an angel road trip. If you concentrate only on the final destination, you will miss the breathtaking views and the wonderful moments that the road offers you. The key is not to ignore where you are headed, but in learning to enjoy the journey you travel. At this time, today you have the opportunity to taste a coffee, smoking in a pleasant stop, to share a talk, a manner with a friend on the road, or to immerse yourself in that book that has been kept in store. In your, however, when our mind clings to what is to come, those little princesses, daily life fades and goes unnoticed. Then how can we, to put this into practice in our day-to-day life, to dedicate a few minutes every day to appreciate what you have at this moment, can completely transform your way of seeing life. We often get lost, both in concerns about what may be missing in the future, that we forget the misfortunes that already surround us, for the simple fact of enjoying a clear sky, or for those small moments. How to listen to the bird song at dawn, or see a child play in the park. Those are treasures of your present and deserve to be recognized. Imagine that your life is like a beautiful book. If you only concentrate on the end of the story, you will miss the richness of each chapter. Every day, take a moment to enjoy the narration. Maybe a hot coffee in the morning, a call from an old friend that makes you laugh, or the pleasure of watching your favorite series. All this is part of your present. Another way of living in the now is to submerge yourself completely in what you are really doing. When you are reading, don't let your mind wander into your earrings. Allow yourself to get lost in the plot, as if you were an explorer in a new world. If you are exercising, enjoy the movement of your body. Feel how it fills you with energy and vitality. Life is not found in the great future events that we fear or long for so much, but in these small everyday moments that at the end of the day are the ones that really tell. Don't get ahead of problems that may never happen. Your hair is going to fall out from so many worries. Stop overthinking things so much. That constant concern about what could happen steals the peace of the here and now. Think of your mind like a car. If you constantly look only forward, you will get lost. The beautiful views you have right next to you. Slow down and enjoy the scenery. Remember, If you decide not to let fear hurt you, then it won't be often. We are our own worst enemies, torturing me with scenarios that have not even arrived. Tomorrow will arrive, as it has always done, but you don't have to dictate how you enjoy this day. So the next time your mind begin to fly into uncertain futures, take a moment to land and return to earth. Take a deep breath. Thank you for the little things that surround you. Enjoys every moment, and above all, live to the fullest. Reaching old age is not a farewell chapter. It is a magnificent new beginning. With every lesson we have shared today, the invitation is clear. Take the helm of your life and navigate wherever you want to go. Don't let anyone, not even your loved ones, draw your map or dictate how you should live. Only you know what you really need to feel complete, free, and on strike today. You have the power to sculpt this stage of life full of meaning and joy. In the end, it is not a question of how many years you accumulate, but how you decide to take advantage of each of them. And so we come to the end of this video, where we begin with a fundamental phrase, which I would like to repeat to you now that you've got this far, because now makes sense. The freedom to take our own decisions keep us worthy and active. Always remember to fight for yourself, and not depending on others. If you can avoid it, leaves everything in order, so that upon arrival to this stage of life, don't feel that you are a burden, and nobody reproaches you for anything. If you have come this far, that means you are committed to your well-being and your independence. I would love to know that you are part of this community. So if you liked the video, don't forget, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't get lost. No new content. And if you reached the end with me, leave me a comment below with the phrase, Lucho por mí, and let me know from which part of the world you watched this video, to know that you are on this road towards freedom and dignity. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video.